some quotes from Deshaun Watson and Jordan Akins yesterday based off the 4th and 1 RPO play that didn't end up working out. Just to make sure everyone's on the same page, Steve, I need 280 on the VOs first. We can show the play once. We got permission to show the play once. So this is the play that we are going to refer to. When Steve has 280 ready, Steve, you can play it full. I'll tell you when to drop it. Here's the 4th down play. Okay, drop it before we get in trouble. Please drop it like right now. There we go. We did it. Congrats, we did it.
All right, so
hang on, I was looking at my phone. Can we see it again?
I hate you, Jason.
Can we play the clip of what Deshaun said or no?
Yes, we have Deshaun Sott and Jordan Akins. So here's what Deshaun said.
Okay, let's hear what Deshaun
that
said.
very play, and then we'll hear what Jordan Akins said. This is Deshaun first.
Because other people are not in the film room, so that not everyone know exactly what the read was. That was a decoy, so that's the difference. Everyone can pause the tape and say, hey, he should have thrown it here, should have thrown it here. Every quarterback deal with that. So if you choose one play and that's the play out of the whole game that everyone is calling, then so be it. It is what it is, No one's in those film rooms. No one is making those decisions. So I go based off of what is Ken Dorsey and Kevin Stefanski is saying. And, on that decision, they made a good play. They got jammed up on the slant. That's what we did it. The previous time when we scored a touchdown, I did the same as that read, and I hit Jerry. So, did I see it wrong then? So for me, it's just, like I said before, it's just I go based off what Kevin and Ken is making those decisions and how they're grading me on that.
So that was Deshaun asked about that 4th and 1 RPO play. Here was Jordan Akins asked about the same play.
It's RPO. At the end of the day, he can give it. He can pass it. All of us was in the right positions. When it come down to that play, we just trust Deshaun to make the best play. Have the best outcome of that play. Like I said, that defense stunted so much, and even sometimes they P-drop. So it can be confusing, You just can't put it all on Deshaun. We definitely wish we could have that play back, but at the end of the day, it is an RPO. So we can either run it or he can throw it. And, next time we'll execute it.
All right. That clip by Aiken tells you that Deshaun's full of crap, doesn't it?
No, not necessarily.
It doesn't? He said nothing about there being a decoy.
Well, he's not supposed to.
Well, then why did Deshaun say it? Because he's defensive.
Well, yes. I think that too, but
yeah.
Y'all need to listen. We not gonna do all this now. Deshaun's answer, isn't wrong in what he's saying. Like you got to the coach. If the coaching when they run these plays, the coaches teach you this is you go here to here. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
And on that play, he was looking for the slant. He wasn't looking at the flat. And on that same play, if I remember correctly, the slant wasn't there. He tried to look away, and then he tucked it and took off running. Because like I said, into that point of that game, the protection hadn't been great. So maybe his own clock was like, all right, if it ain't there, I need to get rid of this ball quickly, or I need to tuck it and run. So I understand why he made the decision he made. He ain't wrong though. Like you still could pause the tape and say, yeah, he could have went there. But in live game situations. Yeah. Maybe he's just not processing things that quickly.
So you're telling me they are only giving him one read
he's got
on that play.
So
on 4th
wait a
and
minute.
1.
Wait a minute.
It ain't a dig route on 4th and 12.
Wait a minute.
It's 4th and 1.
I will counter this. I will counter by saying this. You telling me during the course of that game he had more than 4 seconds to get rid of the ball?
He had enough time to see the guy who was standing next to the guy who got jammed on the slant. They were on the same side of the field, 6 yards apart. They're an extra yard. His eyes were right there.
You know what?
I'm just
Everybody's
saying.
Been critical of the offensive line.
His clock, he obviously was seeing ghosts. Like that's
Tyvis, nobody's given the offensive line a pass. We've all been critical of the offensive line. They played like crap across the board. That doesn't totally. So Deshaun's poor play doesn't get a pass because the offensive line was bad. Just like the offensive line doesn't get a pass because he was bad. They could both be bad.
I actually.
All I'm saying is, if I go through a course of a game, and I don't have a lot of time to get rid of the ball for 4 quarters, because this happened in the 4th quarter. We get to the 4th quarter, and my mind is made up. I got like 3 seconds. I got one, maybe 2 reads, and then I got to get rid of it because this is just how it's been. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Any of y'all sitting here would say the same thing. Like, if y'all was in that game, y'all would have thought to yourself, my offensive line ain't really been giving me a lot of time today, so I got to get rid of this ball
Which is why I would agree with you if Akins was on the other side of the field and wide open.
He was right in front of him.
But that's the
he missed it.
And I agree with Deshaun on the idea that, like, there's a bunch of Monday morning quarterbacks now who look at film and circle and like, I agree with that.
Tough.
No, but I'm saying, like, you don't know the progression.
People
and
don't know, but it doesn't matter. The reason these guys get paid as much as they do is because nudniks like us are watching the film every 8 seconds.
Well, and it's almost the point of its information overload, and there's too much out there now, and now everyone thinks they know where the ball's supposed to be.
That's true.
But that's beside the point. In this instance, when the primary is the slant and it's right there, and Akins is right there, it's hard for me to believe you can't throw to the decoy when he's wide open and standing in the same vicinity of the guy who was. I thought, did you see Dan Orlovsky talk about that play? I thought Dan did a fantastic job. I don't know if you can show his. I probably should.
Dan did. Oh, it's super. Oh, I don't hit that button.
What did he
anymore
say?
yet. No,
Dan,
he showed the video, Jason. So I can't show the video.
Yeah.
Because
even though it's his tweet, you can't show it.
if we could show videos through
No,
tweets,
it
I would
can't.
just tweet
You
out
give
every
us the
play from
summary.
the game. Yeah.
He basically should throw it to Akins. That
Yeah.
it was on one guy, and if he somehow gets over the slant and gets over there, you can't make that throw. But and Deshaun talked about this in postgame too, about how it was the slant and they jammed the slant. But Dan basically said he needs a throw. Like when Dan Orlovsky says it, when Sean King says it, that's different than you and I saying it. Like, these are quarterbacks who play in the NFL.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's hard for me because I don't. One, I've never played quarterback. I just understand that there's a progression, and I don't know what his progression is. That's the problem. Like,
But
I don't know what Kevin and Ken is saying. Is your slant? Is he saying slant, flat, check down? Like, I don't know. Or is it slant, middle of the field? Like, I don't know what the progression is.
Here's the bottom line that I have a problem with too. So either Jordan Akins is like lying and not admitting he's a decoy, which I get because you don't want to give away stuff like that.
For whatever it's worth.
Yeah.
That Akins thing, I could tell by that looks like that was on Zoom. So I'm guessing he talked on Monday after the game.
Yeah.
That's what that is from. And Deshaun,
So it was before Deshaun spoke.
And then Deshaun spoke yesterday.
Right.
So for whatever it's
So,
worth.
yeah, maybe
Akins went
Akins-
first on Monday. And
So
then
maybe Akins, and it's smart for a player not to admit that he was a decoy because you give information to the other team. But if that's the case, then Deshaun shouldn't have said that either. And the only reason he did is because he's uptight and defensive about being criticized. Which, if you're a quarterback, you can't give a crap what we say. It shouldn't matter. Deshaun shouldn't care what we say on a TV show, what the fans say, what media. He shouldn't care.
Obviously, he does.
I was about to say, it's easy to say that people shouldn't care, but like everybody wants to be a pleaser. Everybody wants to be loved and appreciated. So that's why it's like
I'm dead inside.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. But I'm just saying, for him, he wants to be liked and he wants to be appreciated, and that's why
The only way he's going to be liked, Tyvis, sorry to cut you off. The only way he's going to be liked is to play good football, and he hasn't played good football.
Don't disagree.
That's it.
I don't disagree with you.
He came in with all the baggage. All right, all the damage has been done by himself. He put himself in whatever situations. He's played poorly.
Yeah.
Like, it's on him, and it's on him to get himself out of it by playing better football. And that's it. And everybody else, the offensive line, they stink, and the running backs stink, and the wide receivers stink. Everybody stinks on the offense. But everybody's not getting paid $260 million.
30.
230.
230, whatever.
Don't give him an extra 30
So
now.
the quarterback is going to get more of the blame and more of the credit. If Deshaun were playing great right now, we wouldn't be going on and on about the offensive line. We'd be going on and on about Deshaun. That's the way it works.
I don't disagree with you.
So